Hello there, V Group sitters. This is Jonathan Ruth, and I'm the V Group's pastor at Village Church. I'm sure we've probably met by some point if you're viewing this, but I just wanted to say thank you for what you guys are doing. You guys are a vital part to what goes on here in the discipleship process at Village Church by eliminating the child care excuse. So parents like me and my wife could not participate in V groups if we didn't have someone to take care of our kids. So I just want to say thank you up front for that, for what you guys do. And it's a blessing to have you guys on board. So this is the V Group Sitters Club training, and I'm going to walk through a couple things with you that you guys need to know about V Group sitting. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, jonathan@blythewoodvillage.com. at any time, and obviously Vida Marie Nicholson is available. Her contact information will be on this presentation, so keep this handy. It's got a lot of good resources in it, and let's go. So first thing is first, what is the V Group Sitters Club? It provides the V Group ministry with sitters as needed, and you guys are actually considered employees of the church at this point. So you guys will be providing childcare for the groups during their scheduled V Group meetings, which are at various days and times throughout the week. Our mission statement is our purpose is to equip sitters with quality training. We also provide CPR and first aid training, along with resources, support services, and some social engagement throughout the year. We want to get to know you guys and to have a relationship with you, and we want you guys to always feel like you can come and talk to us about anything that's going on, not just in V groups, but in life as well. So that is our mission statement. Next is our general guidelines and our code of conduct. So number one, always want to make sure that you remember you are representatives of Village Church, and that you guys use appropriate language during your V Group sitting duties. Definitely don't want to expose our kids to any language that parents would be unhappy with. Please do not use your cell phones at all during the V Group meeting. So I would prefer that you guys keep your phones off during V Group meetings, unless there's some type of emergency that you guys need to handle. Always want to be courteous to parents and to children. Don't want to raise our voices, don't want to get attitudes. So just remember to always be polite. Don't leave children unattended. I think that's not something we really need to say, but we're going to say it anyway. That's why you guys are there, so don't leave kids unattended. If you need to leave the room to use the restroom or something, then you need to let the other sitter or sitters know that you're doing that. We're not going to discipline children other than, telling them maybe to sit in a timeout. That's about as far as we can go. But obviously don't want to verbally abuse or strike a child. That would be cause for pretty big problems. Don't feed kids anything other than what their parents have given you approval to give them. Don't want to cause an allergic reaction for someone or a choking hazard. So make sure that you guys are always aware of that. And always use appropriate discretion and decision-making at all times. A couple more things. Make sure to wear your V Group Sitters Club t-shirt. If you do not have one of those, please stop by the office and I can get you one. We have them here at the church office. Want to make sure that your other attire is appropriate, so make sure you're dressing by those guidelines. If you're sitting off campus at a location other than where the V Group meets, so say the group is meeting at one house and child care is at another, make sure you inform the parents or the host leader if anything happens. The easiest way to do that is on the Google form or the spreadsheet where you guys sign up for the groups. The V Group leader's contact information will always be on that spreadsheet. So if there is an issue that comes up, please contact the host of that group to inform the parents that there's an issue going on. Once again, that's for if you're doing childcare other than where the V Group is meeting. If you're sitting on Wednesday nights at the church, which we're getting away from that, then you just need to make sure you check in as a volunteer so that there's a record of you being there, because we have safety protocols obviously on campus for any adults or any students who are helping in ministry. So we want to make sure that you're checking in. Meet parents at the door up front, and then you can take them to room 103 or 104 where child care would be going on. All right, so let's talk a little bit about pay rates. If all of our sitters are required to be 16 years or older now, so if you are CPR certified, then you are going to be making $12 per hour. If you are not CPR certified or first aid certified, then you are going to be making $10 per hour. And we pretty much handle the taxes, so you're walking away, you're grossing $10 per hour or $12 per hour. So we're kind of taking, giving you a pay hike to cover your taxes. If you arrive to your assigned V group and there aren't any children, then we ask that you only hang around for about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes into the group time. But if no kids show up, then you guys are welcome to leave. I do not expect you guys to stay, and you will not get paid for more than 1 hour if there are no children present. So if you show up at 6:30 and you think I'm going to milk the clock till 8 or 8:30 and get paid, that's not going to happen, because we're going to know that there's no children there, and then so you only get paid for 1 hour if there are no children. All right, all sitters are responsible for submitting the online form to request payment. So the link for that is right here, and you'll have to submit, the date, the time that you arrived, the time that you left, what group it was, so that you can get paid for that. And we're also adding an incident form on there, so that you guys can tell us about any incidents that may have happened. So we have a document of that. The pay happens on the 15th and then the last day of the month. So payroll has to be submitted a couple days before that. So say, for instance, if the 15th is coming up, we submit payroll on the 11th or the 12th so that they can pay you on the 15th. So if there's any sitting that you do on like the 13th or 14th, you're not going to get paid until the end of the month for that sitting. So there's a 2-week delay on that. A couple questions you might ask. We talk about when to arrive at your assigned V group. Our preference is that you arrive at least 5 minutes before the listed V group time. So if it starts at 6:30, we'd like you to be there by 6:25. We're not going to pay you much before 6:20, for instance. So, don't show up at 6 o'clock and think you're going to make an extra 30 minutes of time there. And the weekly newsletter that Ms. Nicholson sends out will have information about the groups coming up, and it's your responsibility to check back to make sure you know when and where you're going to be sitting for the next week. If you've never been to a group, make sure that you're checking the travel time. Get on Google Maps or Maps on your phone and check out the travel time so you know in advance how long it's going to take for you to get there. What should I wear? Dress comfortably. Always wear your V Group Sitters Club shirt. If you do not have one of those, then just make sure you stop by the church office and we'll be happy to supply one of those for you. You may be sitting on the floor, so just make sure you're not wearing something too revealing and something that's comfortable. So what do you do once you arrive at the V Group? Make sure you introduce yourself. If you're not familiar with the host or the leader, assist with children during meal time. Sit with them, make sure that they're getting fed, make sure that you're always realizing you're responsible for them from the time you get there because you're on the clock. So, and ask the host any questions that you might have. Maybe there's areas that are off limits. Make sure you understand where those areas are. So how should you engage the children? At the start of each meeting, give them the opportunity to use the bathroom. We don't want them running around the house, doing stuff, interrupting the meeting. So make sure that they're taking care of that beforehand. And try to find some things that are quiet for them to do. Maybe have them sing some songs, some camp songs or something. Play some games in a circle. Make sure that they're doing something that's not very loud and boisterous. Have them do a craft, coloring pages. And the way you can do that is there's some totes that are provided. If you guys would like to get one of those, I encourage you to stop by the office and grab a tote. It has lots of good stuff in it, including coloring sheets, craft activities, composition notebooks, crayons, markers, first aid stuff, It's also got a DVD called Superbook and a discussion guide that goes with that. And that's just an animated Bible series that talks about Bible stories, and you can talk about it afterwards if that's something that you are feeling up to, that you feel like you can handle that. If you have any questions or concerns before or after the meeting, make sure that you contact Ms. Nicholson if you have any disagreements or concerns. We don't want you confronting parents or children or even another sitter about any incidents that might occur. So contact Vita Marie at vgroupsittersclub@gmail.com, or that's her cell phone. There's also a weekly newsletter sent out on Fridays with important information. So we want to make sure that you guys get that and that you're understanding when and where you need to be. If you're unavailable for your assigned V group, then we ask that you let us know at least 48 hours in advance, except for emergencies. If your schedule changes and requires you to miss your sitting responsibilities, then we understand that sometimes things come up that are unforeseen. If a group is canceled, then either I or Ms. Nicholson will let you know. We'll contact you as soon as possible. She teaches, so sometimes she's in school, till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and it's hard for her to contact you. If it's late in the day and we find out, I'll probably contact you. If you arrive to a group and there aren't any children, then, like we've said before, submit a pay form, but you'll only get paid for 1 hour if there are no children. So what kind of paperwork do you need to turn in? Hopefully you've received that packet from me already, either physical copies or through email. But we need a W-4 for tax purposes. We need an I-9, which just says that you are a U.S. citizen. And we need copies of some identification that are listed on there. A passport by itself is enough. If you don't have a passport, then we need 2 forms of ID from 2 different columns that are listed on that document. We also need authorization for a direct deposit, so we'll need your bank information for that. That form says we need a voided check, but we actually don't, so don't worry about that. Just fill that out with the numbers that we need. You will need a signed copy of the church child protection policy to say that you've read through that, you understand it, you agree with those guidelines for how we're conducting ourselves around children. And then also we need V Group Sitters Club agreement and covenant signed from you to say that you agree to the code of conduct and guidelines for the Sitters Club. And then last, we need a background check. We do 2 background checks. One is a nationwide, and then we do another one, a SLED background check, which is just South Carolina. So we make sure we cover those bases with all of our volunteers, especially those with children and youth. So go ahead and if you don't have that link to do that, then just let us know. But once again, we appreciate what you guys do, and if you have any questions, contact me, Jonathan, at blythewoodvillage.com, or you can call the church office, 803-419-0989. Have a great day. Bye.